edition of Pegasus Test. On today's edition, we're covering stage transmission of High Desert Brutality 24. Now, what did you have to do on this stage? Well, this was another immersive stage put on by Lead Cloud of the Wastelanders. So, you started out on a highly dangerous sloped roof simulator. I mean, we've just recently found out how dangerous sloped roofs are from the Secret Service. So, InRange really threw caution to the wind here to make this a very immersive stage. So from that sloped roof simulator, you had to hit 4 pistol targets, but they were they were hidden behind another plate rack that had various size holes in it, or various size diamonds actually, going from right to left that were progressively smaller, and there were knockdown plates behind them. Then you went into the trench complex, engaged a target down one end of the trench lane. Then you went to the firing ports that were available between the sandbags. You engaged a target through the firing ports with 2 hits each. And then as you were about to exit that trench, you fired a clearing shot so you could reholster your sidearm. Then you went into the trench complex and you had to find a battery, a set of power cables, and an antenna to get your radio transmission working. Once you recovered those items, you exited the trench and went over to the transmission point, where you assembled the whole components onto the radio. You had to put the antenna in place, you had to connect the power, you had to turn it on. Then, while it was transmitting, the antenna was in the wrong direction. You ran over to an apparatus to swing the antenna around to get the signal out to the correct direction. Then you recovered your rifle and then engaged some targets in another bay. 3 targets with 1 hit each in my case, because I was shooting .308 caliber, but they had caliber specific requirements if you're an intermediate or PCC. So that's what you had to do. Let's go ahead and take a look at what I did, and we'll talk about it on the other side. I am so unsafe on this sloped roof.
I'm gonna fall right off. It's been terrible.
If I die, tell my kids I loved them.
They're factory jobs.
All right, ready?
All right. Stand by. Hit. Wait, back. Missed one. 1, 2. Drop mag. Hit.
Come on, get it. You fucking holster. Come on.
There you go. Up and around. Assemble.
Switch! Yes!
Good. Go, run!
Message is going out!
Other way. Good. Give me 1 on each.
All right, edge. Keep going.
Keep going. You got 60 seconds. Hit! 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 Finish, unload, and show clear. I see clear.
All right, a whole lot going on this stage, so let's get into it. And the first things we have to get into are the things that happened to me before the stage even started. Yeah, that's right, things gone wrong before you show up at the match. So when I first got ready to shoot this stage, I got up on the prop, pulled out my pistol, and my dot wouldn't come on. And I was about to say, well, that's life. I'll power through the stage and figure it out later, because I was near the end of the firing order and I didn't want to be the cause of a delay. Luckily, Lead Cloud, being the RO for this stage, talked some sense into my head and said, no, we'll skip over you. We'll shoot another person. After he shoots, then you shoot. Go get your equipment working. So I did. It turned out to be just a battery problem. Replaced it, which was very frustrating because I tested the battery before I sent the equipment out to Idaho. The night before the match in my Airbnb, I tested out the battery and it worked. So the fact that it didn't work the next morning was rather frustrating. But luckily another member of the squad got me a battery real quick. I mean, before I could even dig one out of my gear, got it replaced, and when it was my turn to shoot, I was ready to go. So solved that problem. But that messed with my OODA loop. My mindset wasn't right, and as you can see, I rushed in the trench, bypassed the first target. If everybody on the squad hadn't called out to go back, I would have missed it and taken a big penalty there. Went back, collected that target, engaged the targets through the portholes, which came pretty easy. Once you got in position, it was actually a fairly easy pistol shot. And then I did my clearing shot, got the hit, so I didn't lose the high-value penalty on that. And then went to holster up and looked like I was auditioning to be in the Secret Service. And the reason for that is pouch placement. I'm going to throw a picture up right here, and it shows where my holster was, and I had a big old first aid pouch there that just got in the way. And I'm a little baffled about why this was, because weeks prior to this event, I'd been practicing with my M17 and this particular holster for it. And I'd been doing good, and it had been performing well, and I didn't have any problems. I used this rig before. I'll put an end card somewhere around here at the end of the video where you can see High Desert Brutality last year. I used the same rig and the same configuration. The only difference is my pistol was a Zev pistol, or Zev modified Glock, using a Safariland holster, pretty much similar but not exactly to that one, on a belt setup, and that pouch placement caused absolutely zero problems the whole time. So didn't expect this to occur, and didn't even realize why I was having the problem until I reviewed video later. Then it was like, boom, right there, obvious. But during the day, I had the problem a couple times, as you'll see in future videos in this series, but it had never been a problem before. So that was just one of the things that just comes up and probably only occurs to you under a match, under the pressure of the clock. But went through the complex, found the required items of gear, got them over to the radio, got the radio set up, got it turned on as per the instructions, moved the antenna as per instructions, and then we're going to move into the next piece of self-sabotage. Although, as you watched, I got the targets, but there was a self-sabotage here. I'm shooting a Delton AR-10 pattern rifle, and I forget the exact designation. I think it's like DT-10 or something like that. But regardless of that, it's a pretty good rifle. It's been very accurate for me. And in that rifle, I normally shoot a Hornet A 168 grain match. I get great groups. I get great response with it. It works really good in this rifle. The problem is the ammo can I packed and sent out from Virginia to Idaho was full of 308 ammo. It just happened to be my Black Hills 175 grain long range ammo I use in my bolt gun. So yeah, this particular rifle was not zeroed to the ammo that I was using. But I knew that going in, so when I ranked off my first shot there, I was like, okay, I saw where it hit, I saw where the miss came from, I adjusted, and boom, the hits came after that. Not fast because I was figuring it out. The scope I'm using, which is a primary arms Raptor 1-6 with an ACSS reticle, excellent scope. I have no reservations for it. But when you're shooting offsets like that, the ACSS reticle pattern I find not to be as perfect as, say, a more traditional scope with crosshairs and hash marks and everything. But I got the job done. I figured out the shots weren't too far, so the compensation I was needing to be wasn't too terrible. I got it done. And I got it done under par. Barely, but it was under par, and that's all that frickin' matters. Now, I do want to talk about that real quick. You see it after I finished the first rifle position, I moved to the center rifle position, and you hear the buzzer go off. That wasn't actually the end of par time. The par times here were 240 seconds, but the timers that they're using only go to 200 seconds, which is kind of a problem. In-range team, please address this for future matches. Because, again, that buzzer went off. I thought, darn, I'm done. You see, I put the rifle down, and then they're like, no, keep going. I'm like, okay, now I got to get back on target, blah, blah. More seconds and time lost unnecessarily. Shooter can't exactly take that hit. It's a thing that's easy to address. Timers that go over 200 seconds are plentiful and not terribly expensive, so please, for future matches, I love the 240-second format. I want you to keep it. I want you doing it, but upgrade the timers. Otherwise, this was a super fun stage. Lead Cloud and the Wastelanders put on an amazing stage every year. For the 2 years they've done it, it's been great. You get immersed into it. They create a world that you're in, and you just totally get into it. Even just watching your fellow shooters go through the stage, you're kind of like getting pulled into the atmosphere and the way they do things and the whole post-apocalyptic vibe they're setting up, and it really enhances the match. And big props to Lead Cloud for setting this up. Also, big props to Squad 204, the squad I was on. There's an old saying that says your squad can make or break your match. And I gotta say, these were a great bunch of guys to be squatted with. You guys performed great. Everybody helped everybody out. When target reset came around, there was not the usual thing you see in so many matches where 2 or 3 guys do all the work, 2 or 3 guys won't do any work, and the remainder of the guys will occasionally get up and do something if the 3 guys actually doing the work have to shoot. No, everybody pitched in every time. Nobody had to say anything to anybody. And if you stepped off to go reset a target and needed help, you said, hey man, will you come help me out? Never any question. The person just followed you right along. You know, it was great. Our squad ran smooth, and it just made it made it real pleasure to be with them in the whole match. And I would have no reservations about shooting a match with these guys ever again. We're hoping you're enjoying this coverage of High Desert Brutality 24. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and tune in for tomorrow because we have the next stage coming your way.